Tonight, you are exactly where you need to be. This gentle meditation is designed to help you unwind, quiet your mind, and slip into deep, restorative relaxation. As you listen, allow your body to soften, your breath to slow, and your thoughts to gently drift away so you can fully surrender to rest. Let's begin by arriving together with softness, as if you were stepping into a quiet room where the lights are dim. The air is kind, and the chair or bed beneath you already knows how to hold you with care. Before we go any further, I would love to learn a little about you and your corner of the world. So please leave a friendly comment telling me where you are listening from, whether it is a bedroom lit by a small lamp, a cozy couch after a long day, a quiet nook at work, or a peaceful balcony beneath the night sky. Find a position that feels deeply supportive and allow your body to settle into it without apology, because comfort is not a luxury in this moment. It is the practice. If you are seated, gently lengthen your spine as though a calm string were drawing the crown of your head upward toward a friendly star, while your shoulders melt downward like warm wax. If you are lying down, let the back of your body meet the surface beneath you the way the shore meets the sea, with acceptance and trust, and let your head rest as if on a cloud that has chosen you. Allow your eyes to close or to soften into a gentle gaze, and let the edges of the room blur the way watercolor softens when rain kisses the page. Bring your attention to the breath, because the breath is our guide tonight, steady and patient, and always willing to meet you exactly where you are. Notice the inhale as it arrives like a friendly visitor, and notice the exhale as it tidies the house of your body with quiet, loving movements. Take a slow, easy inhale through the nose for a comfortable count of 1, 2, 3, and perhaps 4, and allow the belly to soften as the breath drops in like a small stone settling into a calm pond. Pause for a brief moment that feels like a comma and not a period, a tiny pocket of stillness where nothing is required of you. Exhale through the nose or mouth for a count that is just a touch longer, perhaps 5 or 6, and let the breath flow out like a ribbon unspooling at the perfect pace. Repeat that gentle rhythm for a few cycles, and if counting begins to feel unnecessary, let it fade, because your body remembers how to breathe without numbers, and you can trust that memory. Invite the muscles of your face to relax, smoothing the forehead as if a warm hand were tracing away the lines of effort that gathered today. Soften the space between the eyebrows by a whisper's width, and let the eyelids grow heavy without forcing them, as though a kind breeze were resting upon them. Allow the jaw to release and the tongue to relax in the floor of the mouth, and notice how the moment your jaw softens, your thoughts begin to exhale as well. Let the warmth of awareness flow across your temples and into your ears, where it becomes a listening that hears only what helps and allows other sounds to drift past like clouds. Send this warmth down the back of the neck, where small, diligent muscles have held your head all day, and let them rest as if they are finally being thanked. Invite the throat to open gently like a window at dusk, and feel how each swallow becomes smoother as the breath continues its steady, patient journey. Let the shoulders melt, front and back, as if invisible straps of responsibility were slipping gently to the floor with a quiet, kind thud. Feel the space across the chest widen in a natural, unforced way, like curtains parting to admit evening air, and sense how the heart appreciates the room to breathe. Allow the upper back to spread like a pair of wings that no longer need to flap, because you are carried now by something simpler than effort. Place one hand over your heart if that feels nourishing, and the other over your belly, and notice how these two centers meet the breath like old friends, matching each other without trying. Let the hands rest there as gentle anchors, not to hold you down, but to remind you that here is home, and that home is allowed to be peaceful. Inhale with the curiosity of someone opening a beloved book to a favorite page, and exhale with the relief of someone setting down a heavy bag that no longer needs to be carried. If thoughts appear like birds on a windowsill, allow them to perch without judgment, and allow them to lift again when they are ready, because thoughts are guests and your breath is the house. If feelings show up like weather moving across a wide sky, notice their shapes and textures without arguing, and remember that the sky does not try to control the clouds. There is nothing to fix about your experience in this moment, and nothing to perform, because your presence is already the practice, and your breath is already the teacher. Breathe in a color that means ease to you, and see it gather in the chest like candlelight inside a frosted lantern. Breathe out a color that means release, and watch it spread through the shoulders, along the arms, and out through the fingertips as threads of softness. Let these colors blend and swirl with every cycle of breath, painting the inside of your body with sympathy and rest. Guide your attention down to the belly and offer it permission to rise and fall without hiding, because a soft belly is a sign of trust and a doorway to calm. Let the warmth flow into the low back, a place that often holds quiet stories, and feel it loosen like knots dissolving in warm water. Invite the hips to release a fraction more, as though they were books being placed gently on a shelf after a long day of reading. Allow the ease to travel down both thighs like a slow stream that always knows where it is going, and let the knees rest as if they have found a small, perfect pillow. Soften the calves and shins, which carry you from choice to choice and room to room, and let the ankles relax like doors swinging open on oiled hinges. Relax the feet, tops and soles and toes, as though they were stretching into warm sand that shapes itself kindly around them. Bring attention back to the breath and imagine we are practicing a simple rhythm called gather and release. With each inhale, gather softness into the chest, the ribs, and the belly, welcoming breath like a dear friend who always arrives with compassion. With each exhale, release weight from the shoulders, the back, the hips, and the legs, allowing gravity to be an ally instead of a taskmaster. Stay with gather and release for a few moments, and let the rhythm become familiar without becoming rigid, as if the body is humming a tune it has always known. If your mind requests something to do, you can silently pair a phrase with your breath, choosing words that feel like blankets rather than rules. On the inhale, you might say, "I welcome calm," and on the exhale, you might say, "I let go gently," or you can choose any sentence that treats you with tenderness. If you prefer quiet, let the words fade until only breathing remains. because silence is also a wise companion that asks for very little and gives a great deal. Notice how the exhale lengthens itself by a breath or two without effort, whispering comfort to the nervous system with each soft departure. Feel how your body leans into that longer exhale the way a sail leans into a friendly wind, finding direction without strain. Allow a memory of safety to arrive, and let it be simple and ordinary. Perhaps the feeling of a cozy blanket, the scent of rain on warm pavement, or the sound of distant laughter from people who love you. Place that memory like a warm stone in the center of your chest, and let its heat radiate outward in small waves that ease the edges of the day. With the next exhale, send a quiet thank you into the room, not as a performance, but as a natural expression of being cared for by the moment itself. Before we drift deeper, I want to invite you again to share a comment telling me where you are listening from, because your presence enriches this space for others, and your location becomes a little lantern of connection in our gentle community. If you feel inspired, add a word or two about how you hope to feel by the end of your practice, since intention can be a soft compass that points toward the calm you most need. Your voice helps someone else feel less alone in their quiet room, and your presence turns this practice from a solo journey into a shared circle of rest. Return your attention to the breath and imagine the inhale gathering starlight from the air around you, bright but not harsh, warm but not hot. And imagine the exhale weaving that light into the tissues of your body. Picture a soft glow collecting behind the breastbone, no brighter than a candle in gentle fog. And with each exhale, let it expand 3 inches in every direction. Then rest. On the next breath, allow the glow to reach your shoulders and upper arms, then your throat and the back of your neck, then your upper back and heart, then your belly and your hips, and finally your knees, ankles, and feet. Rest inside this glow for a few breaths, and notice how the mind grows quieter when the body feels welcomed, and notice how the body grows softer when the mind is no longer rushed. If a thought returns and asks for attention, greet it kindly. Let it sit on the porch of your awareness for a moment, and then invite it to rest until morning. If a feeling swells and asks to be felt, give it room without adding a story, and watch how it changes when it no longer needs to shout. We will try one more gentle practice together, one that requires no effort and brings spacious ease. On the inhale, silently say, "Here," and let that single word mean I am present, I am safe, and I am willing to soften. On the exhale, silently say, "Now," and let that single word mean I am releasing the future and the past, and I am letting this moment be enough. Repeat. Here on the inhale and now on the exhale for a few cycles, and allow the words to become lighter each time until they are more like feelings than sounds, and then until they are more like warmth than even feelings. When they dissolve completely, sit quietly in what remains, which is awareness itself, spacious and kind and trustworthy. Let awareness cradle your experience like a gentle bowl that holds everything without judgment and without a need to rearrange. As we move toward the end of this introduction, scan your body once more with friendliness, starting at the crown of the head and moving slowly downward. If you find any place asking for attention, breathe there with kindness, like a friend arriving with tea and time, expecting nothing in return. On the exhale, imagine that place becoming a shade softer, even if the change is small, because small changes are often the ones that last. Take 3 gentle breaths to mark the close of this beginning. With the first breath, release any remaining tension around the eyes, the jaw, and the throat, and let your attention settle back into the heart like a feather choosing where to land. With the second breath, allow the shoulders, upper back, and arms to become pleasantly heavy, receiving the surface beneath you with gratitude. With the third breath, soften the belly, the hips, and the legs, trusting that the ground will carry whatever you set down. If you are continuing into deeper meditation, carry forward the gentle rhythm you have discovered, and let your breath be both the path and the companion. If you are moving towards sleep, allow the glow within you to dim like a sunset that refuses to rush, and let drowsiness arrive as a trusted friend who knows how to let themselves in with quiet steps. Either way, you have already chosen kindness by showing up, and that kindness will follow you beyond these words into the rest of your evening or the whole of your night. You're doing wonderful. You have come this far through your day with courage and care, and now the night opens its gentle hands to cradle you in a calm that does not ask for effort. Breathe in with a soft invitation to ease, and breathe out with a willingness to set down anything that does not need to be carried any farther tonight. The room around you begins to blur at the edges in the kindest way, like watercolor finding water, like dusk smoothing the bright edges of afternoon into a hush that belongs to rest. Your pillow remembers the shape of you and welcomes it, while your blankets learn your breathing pattern and match it, creating a nest that knows how to hold you without asking for anything in return. Every exhale becomes a small letter to your body that says you are safe and you are allowed to soften, and your body reads each letter slowly and gratefully. Imagine a lantern of low light at the center of your chest, flickering not from anxiety but from tenderness. A lantern with frosted glass that glows at exactly the right brightness. On your inhale, let the glow gather itself, and on your exhale, invite it to widen by an inch in every direction, painting your ribs and shoulders with quiet warmth that feels like permission. Continue for a few breaths and notice how the glow listens to your rhythm, growing when you welcome it and resting when you rest, like a loyal friend who keeps watch at the door. Your jaw loosens the way a tight knot unwinds in warm water, and the space between your eyebrows smooths with a sigh that cannot be heard yet is somehow felt. Your tongue rests soft in the floor of your mouth, your eyelids grow heavy with trust, and your forehead releases its careful plans into the hands of the night. There is nothing to organize in this moment and nothing to solve, because the solution you need is rest, and rest is already arriving. Breath gathers in the belly like tide arriving at a friendly shoreline, and the sea knows exactly how far to come and how gently to go. With each inhale, the shore receives, and with each exhale, the shore relaxes its curve, and your body learns that same ebb and flow until it becomes second nature again. Weight spreads comfortably across the surface beneath you, and your muscles stop negotiating with gravity and start trusting it instead. Picture a window that opens onto the quiet of the night, not to let in chill or noise, but to invite the scent of distant rain and the faintest whisper of pine. The window is not across the room, it is behind your heart, and every breath draws the night's calm into that room behind the ribs where tenderness lives. The calm slips down your spine like kind water, and it gathers at the base of your back where low aches transform into softness. Somewhere nearby, an old clock ticks in patient time, not to remind you of obligations, but to assure you that every second is capable of holding peace. Each tick feels like a small hand resting on your shoulder, and each talk feels like another hand resting on your other shoulder, so that you are bracketed by gentle steadiness. You are not late to rest, and you are not early. You are perfectly on time for the quiet you deserve. As your breathing lengthens, the night sky arrives behind your closed eyes like velvet, and tiny constellations begin to reveal themselves in kind shapes that feel familiar. One constellation looks like a lighthouse that never criticizes, only offers a beam that sweeps slowly, assuring your heart that guidance is always possible. Another constellation curves like a cradle, and as you notice it, the muscles along your upper back soften as if feathers have replaced tendons. You drift to the edge of a floating meadow, where the grass is sown with threads of silver starlight, and every blade bends in time with your exhale. Night-blooming flowers open petal by patient petal, and within each bloom a message is written in the language of calm, saying you are safe, you are supported, and you are free to let go. The messages do not need to be memorized because the body understands them at once, archiving them into muscle and marrow. A path appears, lined with moonstones that remember summer warmth and share it generously, and when your attention steps upon the path, your feet feel cherished. The moonstones hum a lullaby that is barely sound, more like a feeling that travels up through the arches and into the knees, the hips, and the tender hinge of the lower back. Every note of the lullaby smooths another edge, and the edges are thankful to become curves. In the distance, a waterfall pours from the sky without any mountain to explain it, a veil of silver threads that fall in slow motion, each thread an invitation. You drift close enough to feel the mist graze your face like a cat passing by to say hello without breaking your stillness. And the mist leaves tiny stars of cool comfort along your cheeks. Those cool stars sink into the scalp and soften the temples, then travel behind the eyes where screen light and worry have been, and they dim the brightness to a kinder glow. Beneath the waterfall is a clear lake of night glass, and luminous koi drift in easy spirals that look like breathing made visible. One koi turns and shows a pattern across its back that resembles a map made of patience. And another koi carries a design that looks exactly like your favorite word for peace. They circle and circle until your thoughts begin to circle too, but not in worry, in a calm loop that returns to the same gentle conclusion every time, which is that you are safe to rest. You sit on a small wooden dock that floats on the lake's stillness, and the boards are warm as if kept under a sun that never burns. You place whatever is left of the day beside you like a satchel that does not need to be opened tonight, and the dock agrees to guard it faithfully until morning. It is astonishing how light the body feels when the mind is permitted to put its bag down. Let your attention move through the body with the curiosity of a kind friend who is in no hurry, beginning at the crown of the head where air meets hair and peace chooses a doorway. The scalp loosens from front to back and side to side. The forehead releases another fraction, and the eyebrows rest in their natural curve without trying to suggest anything. The eyelids drape in the gentlest way, as if made of silk and moonlight. And behind them the eyes float in cool pools that need no effort to see. The cheeks soften as if smiling had happened and finished happily, and the jaw remembers it can exist without clenching, and the throat becomes a river with no stones to block it. Warmth flows down into the collarbones and pours across the shoulders, front and back, melting invisible straps that have been holding responsibilities upright. The upper back spreads like the wings of a large, calm bird that has stopped flapping because it has discovered the updraft it trusts. This warmth moves across the heart and rests there the way a hand might rest, not heavy, not light, simply present in a way that says you are not alone in this resting. Your ribs widen as though a small window has opened to the night air, and the breath moves in and out as if it has always known this route and is happy to be on it again. The glow travels down the spine and into the lower back where tiny muscles unclasp their faithful grips and agree to lean into the cushion of the moment. Your belly rises and falls with a tempo that feels as old as waves, and it softens because softness is safer than tension when rest is the destination. The pelvis settles like a bowl finding its steady shelf, and the hips release a whisper more, then a little more, making space for the legs to rest without negotiating. Warmth pours down the thighs as a slow river that knows the valley it travels, and that river takes every rocky edge and patiently smooths it into kindness. The knees fold into ease as if resting on small cushions, and the calves unspool like neatly wound thread that knows it does not need to hold shape tonight. The ankles let go of their invisible vigilance, and the soles of the feet recall warm earth and cool grass from seasons that brought you comfort. Your toes spread slightly like small starfish returning to quiet tide pools, and even the smallest joint accepts the invitation to be unburdened. Return to the breath and notice how it has grown generous, not showy, simply willing to offer you more than enough. Inhale as though gathering soft light from the ceiling of the night, and exhale as though weaving that light into the fibers of your muscles and the threads of your thoughts. Each cycle writes a message across your inner sky, a message that reads, "You are doing wonderful. Keep resting, keep trusting, keep softening." If a thought arrives wanting to discuss tomorrow, imagine placing it into a small paper boat with a friendly stripe, and set the boat upon the lake of your quiet. Watch the boat drift toward a cove where solutions nap and grow, and know you can visit that cove after sunrise, when your mind is bright and your energy is kind. For now, you wave to the boat like a neighbor, and you return to the dock where the night keeps you company. A breeze passes and rings a wind chime shaped like a crescent moon, and the sound is a silver ribbon that ties the present moment gently around you. The breeze carries the scent of something beloved from your life. Perhaps rain on sidewalks, or bread from a warm kitchen, or pages from a book that sat in your lap on a quiet afternoon. You cannot quite name it, yet your heart recognizes it instantly and softens another degree. We invite a simple pattern of breath that asks very little and gives a great deal, a pattern you can keep if it feels right. Breathe in for a slow 4, rest for a soft comma that is not a pause but a float, and breathe out for an easy 6, letting the exhale spill like honey from a warm spoon. Repeat until the numbers fall away and only the sweetness remains, and allow that sweetness to become your hammock in the trees of evening. You may wish to place a quiet phrase on your breathing, not as a command but as a companion. Perhaps I am safe on your inhale, and I let go gently on your exhale. Let the words grow softer each round until they become texture, then warmth, then a glow that requires no sound at all. If you prefer the ease of silence, let silence be the blanket and let your breath be the bed. From the far side of the lake, faint fireflies lift like shy lanterns, and their light is so small and so steady that your nervous system takes instruction from it. The instruction is not complicated. It says only there is no danger here, and there is no hurry here, and there is room for you to rest here. Your body believes the lesson at once, because it remembers fireflies from nights when wonder outweighed worry. Now the night turns its face a little closer, and you can feel the kindness in its breath, which smells of lavender and pine and a promise you made to yourself to be gentle. The stars tip themselves slightly, pouring a thin trail of stardust like sugar on velvet, and the dust lands across your shoulders as a final easing touch. Every granule whispers a small word like soft or rest or home, and the words gather until they become a language you can sleep in. Let your awareness drift to the edges of your body where skin meets air, and notice those edges blur into friendliness, not to disappear, but to belong. The borders that guarded you all day can relax because night is on duty now, humming a low lullaby that says, "I have you, dear one, I have you." You are held by the surface beneath you, by your breath within you, and by the quiet around you, a perfect trio of support. A memory of comfort may rise, perhaps a quiet morning with hot tea, perhaps the sound of rain on a roof that asked nothing of you, perhaps a hug that never rushed. Let that memory float nearby like a small boat tethered with a soft rope, not to pull you, simply to keep company, simply to be there if you wish to reach for it. Comfort recognizes comfort and multiplies it without effort. Your heart continues its steady drumming, not for alarm, for reassurance, and its rhythm is the rhythm that the world would use if the world were made of kindness alone. Each beat is a hand upon your back, and each pause between beats is a doorway where the breeze comes and goes with quiet courtesy. You pass through those doorways without moving, deeper into a room of rest that does not end. If your mind asks whether you are doing this right, remind it that right and wrong do not live here, only welcome lives here, and you are welcomed entirely. If your body asks for a small shift, grant it gladly, because comfort is cooperation and not a test. And your willingness to adjust is also a form of love. If your heart asks for a word, give it the word gentleness and let that be enough. You are breathing like a shoreline now, and your dreams are the boat slipping quietly into the harbor, ties loosened, sails folded, decks washed clean by the softest rain. Each boat finds a place and settles without knocking against the pier, and the water itself rocks them with a mother's patience. Your thoughts become passengers who step onto the pier in comfortable silence and wander to lighted windows where warm beds wait. Somewhere not far away, an owl calls once as if to close the ledger for the night, and the call becomes a seal on your rest, unbroken and unbreakable until morning. The owl folds its wings and watches, and the night watches too, and they agree that you are safe to sleep as long as you wish. They agree that the world can manage without your careful attention for a while, and you feel the relief of that agreement like a blanket added at the perfect moment. Let the last of your attention sit beside your breath as a companion who grows drowsy, and let both companions drift toward a doorway made of soft light and even softer dark. As you cross that threshold, the light dims, the dark warms, and the place beyond welcomes you with the tenderness of a promise kept. You are doing wonderful, and you have done enough, and now the night will finish the rest for you. The moon lowers the lamp. The stars pull the curtains part way but not completely, leaving a sliver of glow that promises a kind morning. Your breath gathers you in and lays you down and gathers you in again, a dance that needs no music because the rhythm is built into your very being. Sleep notices that your doorway is open, and it smiles the way an old friend smiles when the porch light tells them they are expected and loved. Drift now in the direction your quiet chooses, and allow the choosing to happen without words, because choosing itself can be a form of rest when there are no wrong turns. Let the bed hold the weight of you with affection. Let the room become a cocoon where the temperature of safety never changes. And let the night sing in a voice that sounds exactly like your name spoken with love. All is well enough for now, and what is not yet well is being gently tended by the soft hands of time. The glow inside your chest fades to the ember that never burns, only warms, and that ember will be there in the morning to greet you with the first comfortable light. Your thoughts curl like kittens on a wide windowsill, and the window looks out over a garden with dew that has already decided to glimmer when dawn arrives. You are welcome to rest until the dew is ready to shine and beyond, as long as your body wishes, as long as your dreams would like your company. Now let's fly across the sleepy night sky. We rise together on the soft lift of your breath, drifting from the gentle harbor of your pillow as if the mattress were a shoreline, and the blankets were a friendly tide that wishes you safe travels. You do not need wings because your breathing is the quiet engine that carries you, and your exhale is the silver path unrolling in front of us like a ribbon of moonlight. The room loosens its edges, becoming a watercolor of comfort, while the night opens like a velvet curtain sequined with patient stars who remember your name. As we ascend, air grows cool in a kindly way that never chills, the sort of coolness that helps thoughts settle like snowflakes landing on a silent field. Your shoulders notice the invitation and relax another degree, and your jaw accepts the message and softens, and even the tiny muscles around your eyes let go of their careful attention. Breath becomes the lullaby, steady and trustworthy, and your body begins to hum along without trying. Clouds glide beneath us like slow-moving islands, their edges trimmed in pale silver as if stitched by the moon's own hand, and they drift with the ease of friends strolling home after a beautiful evening. You drift too, unhurried and light, and each inhale gathers a little more spaciousness while each exhale spreads it through your chest and your belly and your back like warm tea poured into the shape of you. Nothing demands your attention here, and everything offers welcome. A crescent moon tilts like a tender smile, and a soft spill of milk-white light brushes your cheeks as if the night were tucking you in midair. The moon's glow drapes across your shoulders and down your arms, and you can almost feel individual threads of quiet weaving through your muscles and tying loose bows where tension used to live. You are being mended with gentleness, and the seams are made of rest. Ahead, a murmuring current of stars gathers into a slow river, and we settle upon it as if the Milky Way were a wide, friendly boat waiting just for you. The river carries us without effort, and the rhythm of the water matches the rhythm of your breathing, so that inhale and exhale become a simple oar stroke that moves you toward deeper ease. Your mind notices the pace and agrees to travel at this kinder speed, letting busy thoughts wave from the shore and stay behind. We pass a constellation shaped like a tiny lighthouse, and its beam sweeps slowly, not to warn or admonish, but to reassure, whispering that even in darkness there is guidance, and even in silence there is companionship. Another cluster forms a cradle, and when you notice its curve, your upper back releases in response, settling as if a flock of feathers had chosen to rest there. The sky is full of messages that do not require words, and your body understands everyone. A wind moves to meet us, soft and considerate, combing gently through your hair and across your temples the way a friend might, offering nothing but comfort and the memory of tranquil evenings. It carries scents that feel like home, perhaps rain on warm sidewalks, perhaps pine on winter air, perhaps pages of a beloved book warmed by a bedside lamp, and the familiar notes tell your nervous system that it is safe to release another notch. Your breath thanks the wind with a longer exhale, and the wind replies by becoming even kinder. We drift near an aurora that drapes the sky in undulating curtains of soft green and gentle violet, and the colors move like music without sound, a silent choir that invites the heart to sway along. As the light dances, your thoughts slow to the same tempo, and your attention begins to rock in place, forward with the inhale and back with the exhale, like a cradle learning the lullaby of gravity again. Nothing needs to be remembered here, because what matters is already within you, shining in time with each breath. Beyond the aurora, we find a waterfall pouring from no mountain at all, a silver veil suspended between constellations, its mist glittering like tiny bells that chime without sound. We pass close enough to feel the mist kiss your forehead, and every drop becomes a small note of ease that travels down the back of your neck and into your shoulders, loosening laces you did not realize were tied. You receive the notes and turn them into calm, because your body is wise at alchemy when it is allowed to rest. Beneath the airy falls lies a lake of night glass, perfectly still, perfectly welcoming, and in that clear mirror, luminous koi glide in patient spirals. Their scales hold constellations of their own, and as they turn, you glimpse patterns that look like maps you used to follow to find small joys, maps that always led to warm kitchens and sunlit corners and soft beds. The koi circle your reflection with courtesy, gathering anything heavy that remains, and with every loop the heaviness grows quieter, until it forgets how to find you. A path of moonstones rises from the lake, each step warm as if it had held sunlight for you and saved it for this moment, and the path invites you forward with steady kindness. We step gently, and your feet feel understood, as though the stones have memorized the exact curve of your arch and the precise way you like to be held. With each step, your spine lengthens in a friendly way. Your belly softens in trust, and your shoulders decide there is nothing left to carry tonight. The moonstone path leads into a small orchard of night fruit, where trees wear blossoms of silver and pairs of faint starlight, and the air smells like dew on soft grass. You sit beneath a branch that bows as if to greet you, and a single star pair shines within reach, not asking to be picked, simply offering its glow to keep you company. You feel companioned by the quiet, and the quiet feels companioned by you. From the orchard, a sky rail appears, an invisible line of gentle motion, and a little gondola shaped like a crescent cradles you, as if you were a dream it has been waiting to carry. The gondola glides with no sound and no hurry, and through its open side you can trail your fingers through the air, feeling cool night currents that trace invisible alphabets of tenderness along your skin. Those letters spell the simple truth that rest is safe, and that you are allowed to receive it. We pass above a sleepy village stitched together by lanes of moonlight, and within its windows soft lamps glow, not to summon you, but to promise that everything down there can wait until morning. There is relief in knowing you are not needed by the lists and duties tonight, because you are needed by your breath, and your breath is the gentlest employer of all. You take the job of resting, and you excel by doing less with each moment. Beyond the village, a meadow of star flowers rolls beneath us, and the petals open and close to the tempo of your breathing in a choreography so natural it feels like remembering. You watch the petals soften with each exhale and bloom with each inhale, and your body copies their grace, loosening on the out-breath and welcoming on the in-breath with the ease of an old habit rediscovered. This is the kind of learning that never asks for effort because it belongs to you already. The gondola comes to rest beside a library that floats among the clouds, its windows glowing amber, its door slightly ajar the way the door of a trusted friend's home would be. We step inside, and the scent is a gentle mixture of candle wax and linen and the first page of a book you love. And the sound is a hush that feels like an embrace. A starlit librarian looks up with patient kindness and offers a slim volume titled "Breaths for the Night You Deserve." You sit in a crescent-shaped chair that adjusts to your body with devotion, and you open the book to a page that turns at the pace of your inhales and exhales. The first lines suggest a rhythm of in for 4, a soft comma of stillness, and out for 6. And you follow gently, letting the numbers dissolve as soon as your body remembers. The next lines invite your hands to rest, one over your heart, one over your belly, and to notice how those two places greet your breath like friends who love to meet halfway. You close the book and it transforms into a warm pillow in your lap, a small reminder that knowledge and comfort can be the same thing when we let them. We thank the librarian with a look that says we will return, and we float outward through the open door, where the sky waits with endless patience. The gondola resumes its glide, and the air around you wears the hush of a lullaby that needs no melody, because your breath provides the tune. A cluster of little moons drifts near, no larger than apples, and they bob together like kin, sharing their gentle light without any need to outshine one another. They cast a pearly glow that soothes your skin and warms your ribs from within, and your exhale lengthens in gratitude as naturally as a sigh. Every part of you understands that being bathed in kindness is not a luxury, but a way back home. We drift into a cove of clouds shaped like hammocks, and one lowers itself to meet you exactly where you are, cupping your body without pressure and rocking you with the smallest, sweetest motion. The rocking syncs with your breathing, forward with the inhale and back with the exhale. And your mind imitates the sway by letting go of any edge that still thinks it needs to pay attention. Even attention gets to rest now, because awareness is taking the night watch. If a leftover thought taps the window of your awareness, you can place it gently in a paper boat of starlight and set it on a nearby stream that flows toward morning. The boat drifts with friendly purpose, and the thought curls up like a cat inside it, content to sleep on a small cushion of cloud until sunrise. You wave to it like a neighbor and return to your hammock, lighter for having been so kind. The cove opens into a harbor where the water is the exact color of trust, deep and calm and infinitely patient, and our hammock becomes a little cloud raft that kisses the surface and settles into stillness. A lighthouse on the far shore sends a slow, steady beam that crosses the water and touches your chest like a blessing that speaks no language, and yet says everything you need to hear. Your heart replies by easing into its most comfortable rhythm, confident that you are cared for. We stay here long enough for your breath to become the tide, lifting and lowering the entire harbor with its unassuming power, and long enough for your muscles to realize they can trust the water's cradle. You notice how even the smallest hinge between two vertebrae, beneath one shoulder blade, along the arch of a foot, accepts the invitation to soften, as if each place had been waiting for this permission. Permission granted, permission received, permission kept. A chorus of crickets sings from a shore you cannot see, and the sound travels across the harbor like a silver thread that stitches the moment closed with a seam of peace. Somewhere beyond, an owl calls once, not to startle, but to affirm that night is friendly, and that rest is a wise decision. The call fades into the soft hum of everything being okay enough, which is sometimes the most beautiful music of all. If your mind wonders how long this will take, let it know that rest happens in the length of a single breath, and that you are taking many single breaths beautifully. If your body requests a small shift, give it gladly, because comfort is cooperation, and cooperation is love put into motion. If your heart wants a word to hold, offer it the word gentleness, and let that word become a glow that needs no guarding. We float once more, rising from the harbor as lightly as a petal lifted by a kind breeze. And the night reveals one last wonder, a bridge woven from moonbeams and willow branches arching from star to star. We cross slowly, and each step hums a barely audible note that resonates along your spine, smoothing any remaining edges into curves meant for rest. At the center of the bridge you pause, and the universe pauses with you. And in that pause you feel the quiet joy of belonging exactly where you are. On the far side of the bridge lies a small sanctuary made of murmuring shadows and low lamps, and the floor is covered in soft moss that remembers every calm footstep it has ever held. A nest of cushions waits, shaped by kindness and trimmed with hush, and you settle into it with the sense that you have reached the most peaceful room in the most peaceful house of the most peaceful evening. The sanctuary molds itself around you the way water molds itself to a cupped hand, supportive and unquestioning. Let awareness glide once more from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet, like a soft lantern descending through a clear lake, illuminating everything it passes with warmth that lingers. The forehead smooths, the temples quiet, the eyes float, the cheeks soften, the jaw loosens, and the tongue rests like a small boat tied to a safe dock. Warmth pours into the shoulders. The chest opens like curtains at dusk. The back broadens into comfort. The belly yields to the natural sway of breath. The hips release. The legs accept their own kind weight. And the feet remember every patch of friendly ground they have ever met. Breathe in as if you are gathering starlight from just above your skin, and breathe out as if you are weaving that starlight into the fabric of your muscles and the threads of your thoughts. Each inhale becomes an arrival, and each exhale becomes a letting go. And together they draw a gentle path that leads into the heart of sleep. You do not have to walk it alone because your breath walks with you, step for step, pause for pause, hush for hush. If a final thought appears, offer it the softest seat at the edge of the room and invite it to nap there, promising to check on it with morning eyes that are brighter and kinder. Thoughts love to be believed when you say that rest will help, and they love to be allowed to sleep too, which they do the moment you stop asking them to guard the door. You are the one being guarded now, by quiet, by breath, by night. The sanctuary dims itself by a fraction, the lamps lowering as if in gentle bow, and your body answers by sinking a little deeper into the contour it has chosen. Your breathing slows to the tempo the stars prefer, and the stars respond by softening their brightness until the whole sky feels like a whisper. There is a sense that you have come home to a place you never left, a place kept for you inside every exhale. Let yourself be carried the last distance by the smallest tide, a tide that needs no witness and leaves no wake beyond a line of calm across your face. The line of calm becomes a gentle smile that you may or may not notice, and either way is perfect because the smile does not require attention to keep being true. Sleep is arriving on tiptoe, familiar with this path, delighted to find your door open. May your dreams be threaded with ease. May your night be held by kind hands, and may your breath continue to rock you like a cradle hung between two patient stars. Everything you set down will wait exactly where you left it, and much of it will feel lighter in the morning, because rest is a quiet craftsman who mends while you sleep. You are safe to drift now, safe to soften fully, safe to be gathered by the hush that loves you. That ends tonight's journey, but you're welcome to stay a bit longer.